Hi there guys, Sam here. Welcome back to another video. You're joined once again in my Mark 7 Golf R on what is a freezing day here in the UK. To talk a little bit around about my Mark 7 Golf R and sort of an issue that I've noticed recently, particularly over sort of checking on like the Golf R forum, and just it's kind of like a common fault which a lot of prospective owners, prospective buyers or actual owners of the car experience, and I just kind of wanted to discuss it and go into it. So yeah, let's get on to this one. So the topic of the day is the lights. Now these lights are brilliant, I have to say. In the Mark 7 Golf Rs, they came as standard and you get a fantastic bright white light, and it's the best lights I've ever had in any car that I've owned. Perfect when it's absolutely pitch black or you got horrible weather. As long as you give them a wipe down, obviously plenty of grime and grit in the UK, so yeah, keep them clean, more important than the bodywork of the car. You're good to go. And yeah, it's a big selling point of the car actually. Now when I went to purchase my Golf R over the period of a couple of years, 2 years or so, back in sort of like probably around late 2015, 2016, then 2017, when I was test driving the Mark 7 Golf Rs, what I'd always noticed when I'd go to a VW dealer is that the lights would essentially be completely filled with water and almost looking like there's a fault on every single one. And this wasn't even necessarily just the Golf Rs, it was a few other cars that was dotted around, and it just massively put me off the car. And I was like, well, this isn't right. You know, I'm not going to give you tens of thousands of pounds of my hard-earned cash for a car that's dodgy. So that actually really put me off, and it's something that's still common today. Now it's something that happens quite a lot, particularly when it's cold or wet and damp. Now these lights get extremely hot. They do produce a lot of heat, and that's how they work so well. And as a result of that, although they're sort of like sealed units, you know, there shouldn't be any air or water getting into them, you can get water in it, condensation, and it fills up in the inside, and it makes it look like the lights aren't essentially working, which is not what you want, particularly if you're driving at night. And it's not necessarily a good look of the car. So I've gone round as I'm kind of speaking of my lights, and they're perfectly fine, absolutely fine, no problem. You can't see anything in them, particularly as the weather may be. I mean, it's supposed to be -8 today, and hence the heavy jumper. And I've never seen it too bad on mine. I've noticed it occasionally when it's dark and I've come back from a drive, and sort of like the hot to cold transitions, and you see a little bit of water, a few droplets, and you sort of get worried. I think my other half noticed it as well when I saw her last week, and I was kind of like, well, this is something that a lot of people bring out, a lot of people bring up, should I say. It's not anything to worry about, to a point. Whenever if you ever see it, even if it's in the small amounts or even like a medium amount, it looks like it's blocking the light, you're generally 99% of the time are going to be fine. As soon as you start the car and drive off and the lights warm up again, the engine warms up, all that kind of stuff, it's fine. It's as clear as day. You have no issues in visibility. The issue becomes with cars which potentially have been sat on dealer forecourts. I think that was one of the main problems. My car is fortunate enough to either be stored under a carport, or back when I was at work all the time, I would always store it in an underground car park. So it had a lot of protection from the elements. Cars which are sat, not being driven on a VW forecourt, for example, you will notice it a lot more. And of course it will build up and it will look worse. Now I've seen, and I'll try and put some images on just from ones that I've seen, and it's almost like a fishbowl in there. And once it gets to that level, yes, you have got a problem. Use your own eyes, use your own instinct to say, yes, it probably needs replacing. Now I have heard actually that it's quite difficult to repair this, and it's quite complex, and it might save you a little bit of money. But on the whole, if you have something like a huge issue like that, actually replacing the whole unit is potentially the only option. I believe it's a part that's worth about £500 to £600, so not massively cheap, but then yeah, I think they look stunning, particularly on the Mark 7. Subscribers have spoken to me about it in the past. They prefer these lights to the 7.5, just because the 7.5 lights are kind of used across like the GTI and the GTD, whether these lights are a bit more exclusive to the R, and I didn't realise that as well until they mentioned it. And I think they're absolutely great. But I just wanted to go into that. If you're ever worried about it and you see it, or you're looking to buy a Golf R, don't be worried, don't be put off. Obviously, if it's massively excessive, then you've got a problem. And to be honest with you, if you're looking to buy a car, particularly from a dealer, you can say to them, if you know, if it's one of the lights or something, you know, if you replace that light for me, I'll buy the car. You know, the seller is going to be like, well, okay, you know, if they're a VW dealer, it's not going to cost them that much to obviously get the part, and you know, take the hit on that if they're going to sell you a car. So just think about that. And yeah, and if you look after it, particularly if you keep it undercover, you should be fine in the long haul. I'm 3.5 years into ownership of this car. Well, the car is actually 4 years old in about a month's time, actually, the end of the month, end of April, towards the end of April. So I've had it quite a while, and other than seeing it a few little times, particularly during the winter months, I've had no issues, and yeah, long may that continue. I wonder if it may actually be because of bumpy roads, potholes, anything that can dislodge something can cause an issue. You know, it's a car at the end of the day. Some parts are just consumable parts. But for me, I've had no issues. I don't think it should be something that you should put off getting a car. If you do see it, it's quite common, very common. If you mention it on a Golf R forum, you're going to get the same response of people saying, yeah, we've all seen this, don't worry. Unless, of course, it's obstructing visibility from the lights when you drive off. So if you turn the lights on and you're still seeing a puddle of water in there or something like that, yeah, you've got an issue. You've got to get that sorted. And yeah, unfortunately, that's, you know, it's going to incur some cost. But I just wanted to share that, share a little bit of something that I think is quite a high topic, particularly during the winter months. And I hope you found it useful. But listen, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for plenty more content to come. Plenty on my Mark 7 Golf R. I absolutely love it. I do a lot of Golf 8 R content as well. So, you know, latest images, a lot of feedback from owners actually as well. So it's been fantastic on that side. Video tomorrow on what I think is probably the best looking Golf 8 R I've seen. He's taking delivery of it actually this weekend as I'm speaking. So yeah, I've got some cool images of that to show you all, and interested to know your thoughts. But listen, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe. It's a community channel. That's what it's always built up upon from my first video to today, and I'd love you all to be a part of it. But thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers, guys.